Quantum immortality suggests that consciousness persists in parallel universes, defying death. It stems from the many worlds interpretation of quantum mechanics, where all possible outcomes exist in separate realities. Individuals experience only the surviving branches, creating an illusion of immortality. This speculative concept raises questions about consciousness and challenges conventional mortality. However, it lacks empirical evidence and is not widely accepted in science. It explores the implications of quantum mechanics on personal identity and invites philosophical pondering. Quantum immortality.
Hey, Shalom. I'd like to start out by giving all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh, Bahasham, Yahweh Shai, Bahasham, Rakak, Wadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone, and Shalom to the elect of Israel. This is the Mayim in Atlanta, and as you see on the screen, we're going to speak about quantum immortality today. This is a theory that goes around that there are different realities in which it makes for you to never die, because each of these positions in which you would have died would split off into another reality in which you're still alive, or your consciousness is still alive in these different realities. And in summation, this is silly. It's very silly because the scripts exist and it tells you exactly what happens at death. But people have taken Esau's word for so long and believe what he says that it either makes them a full believer in the heaven and hell idea, and that people just die and go to heaven, or they die and go to hell, or you either think that or you become disenchanted with it and start believing all sorts of other crazy things and philosophies that are in this world. And this world is just, it's crazy. It's simple, but it can't seem to see the simplicity within Yahweh Shai and what the scriptures tell us what death is, which death is always, in the Old Testament, when the kings died, it would be described as going to sleep. You even see that in the New Testament when it speaks of people going to sleep, because your soul still exists and it just transitions up to the Lord. You rest for a little bit and then you come back and receive your judgment on the earth. This is where judgment happens. And this idea of many realities, there are different realities, because there's a reality where the elect have already won. But that's a continuous, and it's a time thing, but it's not alternate realities. Because if alternate realities existed, then Esau would be able to get the victory in some reality. But that can't happen, considering the Lord has saved Esau and put Esau in this position to be judged, to show forth his judgment, to bring the judgments. And there's no reality where that exists. And so you can see Esau just creating all these different scenarios in his mind where they can actually continue in their rulership, but they can't. It's just a temporary rulership. But let's get into the scriptures. This is 2 Corinthians 11 and verse 3. But I fear lest by any means, as the serpent beguiled Eve through his subtlety. These theories that are out here, it all sounds so deep and so beautiful how they explain it, but they're all just tricks. They're all just, it beguiles the mind and it bugs people out. Just think about what the truth is. You should only be searching for truth, and that theory can't be explained. It's also just a theory, and it can't be proved. But the scriptures prove what happens to you in death. But it says, so your mind should be corrupted, from the simplicity that is in Mashiach. And the gospel is simple. People just want it to be much more complex. And Esau's used so many big words and so many emotional explanations to explain the scriptures that people expect it to be that way. But really, it's really simple. And these people are almost just too simple to understand the simplicity. They all have these deep demons on them, trying to sound deep and trying to be deep, but not everything is supposed to be deep. But we're entering into the end of this world, so all this stuff is going to fade away. All these ideas, the wisdom of this place. 1 Corinthians 3:19, for the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High. That's a foolish theory. On some level, it makes some sense, but not when you pair it with the scriptures and what's going on and what's going to happen. It makes no sense. It's just foolishness. It says, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. And these people are trying to be overly wise and over understand. They're trying to overstand life, but it's all written out in the Bible. Even in the world, they call it the basic instructions before leaving Earth. But people don't even read the owner's manual. They don't even read it. But I'm going to go to Ecclesiastes because immortality is spoken of and will be achieved by the elect. But as far as these different realities in which immortality exists on this side here, that doesn't exist. And there's these altered realities in which you might have died here, but on this other side you're still living. You might have a memory of that incident too, and it's all foolishness. The book literally tells you what happens, and it involves reincarnation. You're born, you live your life, you die, you go to heaven. Lord gives you your judgment there, and then you serve it back on this earth, and you come back in the third or fourth generation. It's pretty simple. We don't understand everything about it, but we will once Yahweh Shai comes and brings the elect immortality. But this is Ecclesiastes 3 and verse 15. It says, that which hath been is now, and that which is to be hath already been. So your soul has already been on this earth before many times. It says, and the Most High requireth that which is past. And so the things you've done in previous lives could be coming to judge you in this life. And it says, and moreover, I saw under the sun the place of judgment. Under the sun is the earth. And so the earth is the place of judgment. It says that wickedness was there. And even that wickedness goes into all these alternate theories of how life is when the Lord gave us the explanation already. It says in the place of righteousness, the land of Israel, that iniquity was there, and the basest of men are in the land currently, calling themselves the Lord's people, but that's absolute wickedness and iniquity, which is sin upon sin. And they're going to be judged for that at the end of this world and in their next lives. All of them, until their complete gene pool is done away with. It says, and I saw, Salakia, I said in mine heart, the Most High shall judge the righteous and the wicked, for there is a time there for every purpose and for every work. I said in my heart concerning the estate of the sons of men, that the Most High might manifest them, and that they might see that they themselves are beasts, For that which befalleth the sons of men befalleth beasts, death. It says, even one thing befalleth them, as the one dieth, so dieth the other. Yea, they have all one breath, so that a man hath no preeminence above a beast, for all is vanity. And here's the point: all go unto one place. So you die, you go to heaven. That means there's no hell. But all these people believe in that, or they're running from that and going into these different theories that try to explain what life and death is. It says, all are of the dust, and all turn to dust again. Ashes to ashes, dust to dust. Who knoweth the spirit of man that goeth upward, and the spirit of the beast that goeth downward to the earth? Wherefore I perceive that there is nothing better than that a man should rejoice in his own works, for that is his portion. For who shall bring him to see what shall be after him? Because once you pass on and go into another life, or reincarnated again, or regenerated, you're not going to remember your previous life. Unlike that theory, it's not going to be, which, let's get it. Ecclesiastes 1 and 11. There's no remembrance of former things, neither shall there be any remembrance of things that are to come with those that shall come after. So you're not going to be remembering these past lives, which would be extremely traumatic in the first place to be remembering every death that you took. It's just not it. But point being is that reincarnation is spoken of within the scriptures. It's even, to get it, it's called regeneration within the scripts. Matthew 19 and 28. And Yahushua said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, you also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. This is speaking to the apostles, but showing regeneration. You have followed me in the regeneration. So through these different lives, and they were with him from the beginning, helping to create this earth. That's what life and death is, regeneration. And that's how the Lord judges as well. But these people don't know the Lord's judgments, neither do they understand his ways. Even though it's just right here in this book, but he hasn't departed the understanding to everyone. Just the elect will have it. Wisdom of Solomon 3 and verse 2. In the sight of the unwise they seem to die, and their departure is taken for misery. And these are the elect. And it seems like they pass on and alter different lives, but immortality is at the end of all of these cycles. That's what will happen. And then there's also going to be martyrs, where Esau's going to think they're putting to death the elect, but they're just really going to be with Yahushua and already achieved that new body and waiting to take out the ones that beheaded them or put them to death in whichever manner. We're waiting for them to be born back, to have them in captivity, to put those miseries onto them. But reading that again, in the sight of the unwise, these people that are believing in this quantum immortality, they seem wise, they seem deep, but they're truly unwise. They wouldn't see an elect man die and understand that he's just going to Yahushua and will be risen up first. They're not going to understand that because they don't have the wisdom. They have it of this world, so they're not going to see it. It says, and their departure is taken for misery. But it's a good thing to leave this world. This world is nothing but misery. And at least in heaven, or the spirit world, it's just everything is in order and in its right place. But here, everything is in disorder and upside down and unclean and brings death. This is a terrible world, but the wisdom that the Lord has given is shining forth, and it's coming out, and it's destroying the lies of this world that have been told, in the fashions of this world, as well as the wisdom of this world. It's all being taken down through the spirit and power of Yahushua. Finishing out in Matthew 16 and 28. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death. Speaking to the elect. Because back then, these men died. This was 2,000 years ago. But in the time that we're coming into, there's men that are going to go through the tribulation, come out on the other side, get new bodies, and then be complete immortals forever. They'll never die. And this is death's last stand, and it's not, they're going to get the victory over death. Verily I say unto you, there be some standing here which shall not taste of death. And this is what Esau is hoping to obtain with all of their AI, with this new world they're trying to come up with, and they're going to try to achieve it through their technology. But it's not for them. There's no alternate reality, no quantum immortality for them. They go down. They get judged. Really, that theory is just them trying to outrun their judgment and think of greener pastures, but there's no such thing for them. They have to be judged for the universe. It says, till they see the Son of Man coming in his kingdom. Yahushua's return means immortality for the elect, and eventually immortality for the Israelites, all of Israel, but not to the other nations, and most definitely not to the Edomites. There's no reality in which that happens. And so, Lord willing, that was edifying. I'd like to give all glory, praise, and honor to Yahweh Bahasham, Yahushai Bahasham, or Chawadash. Double honors to the elders and apostles of the great millstone. Shalom to the elect of Israel. Shalom.